Hello, all of my power listeners out there. It's Power Recapper Dave Neal, stand-up comedian and host of Bachelor Nation News. I've made 4 videos today, all about topics that don't really mean much in the world, and that, my friends, is a Bachelor Nation lobotomy, if I've ever seen one. So do me a favor, swim up to the bar, fill up your Tupperware, and get ready to end the day strong. We are crushing it today. Why not? Summer's fast approaching. Life's a beach. Let's get into it. If you haven't watched my previous video, we talked about ghosting a lady who got ghosted on by a guy who's going to be on the next season of The Bachelorette. We discussed Connor Brennan, who may or may not be on the next season of The Bachelorette. I don't think he is. He actually has all these tour dates, which are on the books. So unless he cancels his tour, it was false reporting by Bachelor Recapper or Bachelor Spoil King, Reality Steve. And in this video, Cassidy issues demands. We love a good demand from Cassidy. We know Cassidy, one of the lovable villains of this past season of Clayton's season of The Bachelor. So we're going to get into that. Do me a favor, bump your Harrisons on top of the like button if you haven't already. Pump the Palmers. Hit them an odd number of times. Do me a solid, and also follow me on Instagram at DNeals. I'm making this video live right now with my Patreon, patreon.com/Dave Neal, private membership only community. If you want to watch how we source the material and put things together, join our friends Vicky, Mariah, and Lori, and all the other, I think, 235 now members of the Patreon as we sort of hang out and work with Dave. So let's keep it going, get into it. Here's what Cassidy had to say in her Instagram stories. We're obviously having a little fun with Cassidy here. We love her, good friend of the show. It's rumored to possibly be on the next season of The Bachelor in Paradise. She says this: recently, a man bought me legit a full tank of gas. Like I had negative gas pulling up to the station, and for the record, normally, as he should. But I looked up and saw $77 and felt immediately like he'd done too much, which is frankly an astonishing reaction, considering that's honestly barely scratching the surface of sexism reparations. Boy, you know it's a fun Friday when you end the videos with sexism reparations. So let's get into the theory here. Now, she had posted another status update, but honestly, it's not there anymore, so I feel like she deleted it, but luckily, everything lives online. Not saying all men owe us a tank of gas, but definitely heavily implying that if they were to offer to buy us a full tank of gas, it would be misogynistic and frankly outright problematic to refuse what you are, I'd go so far as to say, inherently owed. And I, for one, want to buy Cassidy a tank of gas for her use of commas in what might be the best run-on sentence I've ever seen. I actually really like it. You guys know me, run-on sentence Dave. I'm going to read this one more time. Let me just get a sip of air. Not saying all men owe us a tank of gas, but definitely heavily implying that if they were to offer to buy us a full tank of gas, it would be misogynistic and frankly outright problematic to refuse what you are. I'd go so far as to say inherently owed. And you know what? It's actually not a sentence because there's no period at the end. But I digress. So are women owed a tank of gas? Now listen, don't get me wrong. I think every mom is owed a tank of gas. My mom, I should call her. She birthed me. She breastfed for a month till that didn't work. That's right, formula fed. You don't want your kid to be formula fed. You better, become a power recapper. The brain does weird things when it uses Enfamil or whatever the hell they're using these days. Oh, I'm not shaming formula fed kids. I'm just saying this is what you get. They just crush up some Adderall and put it in the mix. All right, so hey, yeah, look, sure, man. I texted Cassidy for any elaboration. Let's see what she said here. I'm not going to share all the DMs. She says, gas prices really got me regretting every mile I've ever driven for a man. Look, hey, I love Cassidy. I love this. Absolutely. Do what you got to do. If you want to go out with a guy, set your demands. Yeah, pick me up at 8 and get your Venmo ready because I'm charging mileage, bitch. F yeah. We like that. What do you guys think in the comment section of the Patreon? Are we okay with charging for a tank of gas? I would say this. If the sex is good, don't charge for a tank. You know what I mean? If the sex is good, you pay for your gas. If it's regrettable, or maybe if he doesn't service the pump station, if you know what I mean, if that's the case, if there's no pump station servicing, then maybe you Venmo him for a little tank of gas, or at least a couple clicks on the old pump there. If he only lasts a couple clicks, he owes you a couple clicks of gas or clicks of other things, right click in the mouse. All right, folks. Either way, it's funny. I love seeing stuff like very irreverent. Couldn't be less irreverent, or less reverent, I should say. But I do love seeing sort of an out of context post. Like clearly she felt the need to post this after getting upset that she filled up the tank to be underwhelmed. You know what I mean? So all for it. Do what you got to do. Pray for Cassidy. And as we know, if anyone can buy Cassidy her gas, it's Jason Tartick. Jason says, I'm good paying a few extra bucks at the pump, knowing Russia's 116 billionaires have lost nearly 90 billion since February 16th. An estimated 39 billion was wiped out on Thursday after Russia's MOEX index closed down 33%. The market crash erased about 70 billion from Russia's most valuable companies. We reported this a few weeks ago. And if you were caring or wondering what Peter Weber's mom thought about the matter, you weren't? Me neither. She said, you make a valid point about what to place at the top of the list relative to what is going. You ever write a report and it's like, all right, you need 500 words and you're at like 378 words. So you just add a bunch of here to's and therefores. That's what Peter Weber's mom was doing. What is going on geopolitically? However, the price of gas we currently are paying is totally self-inflicted by the policies of our current inept administration. To go from an energy exporting nation to now asking other nations to endure is inexcusable. We could put an end to the war in Ukraine immediately by offering reliable supply of natural gas and oil. What are we going to do? Pipeline natural gas to Europe? Hey, France, we're sending over the longest hose possible. Biden is being driven solely by the progressive left's desire without giving any thought to the ramifications of these idiotic policies. Anyway, how did we get there? So then Bernie Sanders says this. Now I'm sharing this. Oh, that's the wrong one. Bernie Sanders says this about gas. I'm sharing it from Fox Business for people to go, well, you progressive hack, you're not sharing it from the other side. Well, Fox Business, they share. I mean, maybe they're less conservative than Fox News. I don't know. Senator Bernie Sanders claims inflation isn't to blame for high gas prices. The Vermont senator blamed soaring gas prices on corporate greed, collusion, and profiteering. That's why Bernie Sanders. Shock, shock, shock. Gas prices are at the highest level in 7 years, while ExxonMobil, Chevron, Shell, and BP made nearly $25 billion in profits last quarter. The highest level in over 7 years. The problem is not inflation. The problem is corporate greed, collusion, and profiteering. So, anyway, that's the problem, Cassidy. You're paying higher prices. You want sex ramifications or reparations, whatever you want. So, yeah, we all want to get ramified or, either way, do we need to make a video that even dabbles into the geopolitical nature of rising gas prices during the potential start of a World War III? No. But are we here on a Friday trying to crush it to end out the week? Yes. That's what we're doing. So, So anyway, to Peter Weber's mom,
you cut the crap.
We give her a good "you cut the crap." So Lori in the comment section with some questions about gas. She says, "I honestly don't know how I'd react to a guy offering to buy me gas. I think a lot of women I know would be offended. Actually, maybe I know too many angry feminists." Well, no, look, I totally understand. Look, if a guy buys you a tank of gas, he might want to. Well, look, listen. No amount of gifts, whether it be a hamburger, breakfast, tank of gas, should lead to an expectation of sex or other favors returned. That shouldn't be the case. Now, does that mean everyone thinks that way? No. There are plenty of people that buy dinner, then get ghosted on, and then they get very mad. Hey, I bought you dinner, I did all these things. And you go, listen, if someone offers to go on a date, then you can... Okay, Cassidy, here's my thoughts, right? By the way, shout out to Bruce for adding the man in demands right there. If someone invites you on a date and it's out of town, yeah, throw them a few bucks for gas. Sure. Tack it on to the date bill. But if it's just your everyday, if you're going to your boyfriend's who lives in town, come on, what's it cost to get 7 miles? You know what I mean? Angel says, can we normalize married women getting free gas too? Okay, what is this? Oprah Winfrey, look under your chair. That's a tank of gas. You get some gas. Yeah, everyone, the water, air, the vapors. Sharon says, I would rather buy my own gas. So clearly we have a generational divide on who should be buying the gas. I'm going to go ahead, though, and take Cassidy's rant here as more on the humor side of things. Although I'm sure there's a tinge of truth to it that she's like, we call it the economic complex, the industrial dating complex that exists. with rising gas prices, does that mean less booty calls? Let's get Bachelor data on this. If we have, okay, let's do an X and Y axis. Hold on. So we have rising gas prices right here. Those are rising gas prices. And with the rise, we have less booty calls right there. So the key is to try to get the gas prices at a place where you'll still do a booty call. Listen, any video that ends with me writing on my tax papers that I should be filing, but instead I'm making content for you guys, is a win for me. Thank you guys so much. We are dismounting on a Friday afternoon. Let's see if Cassidy dismounts after getting paid at the pump. Bye, guys.